Hey there! I have heard it said if you live to be 70 years old, you will spend at least 3 years of your life just waiting. Waiting in line at the grocery store, waiting in the doctor's office, waiting for lunch to be ready, waiting for recess. In one of his books, Dr. Seuss talks about a place called the waiting place. He describes it as a useless place where people are just waiting. Waiting for a train to go, or a bus to come, or a plane to go, or the mail to come, or the rain to go, or the phone to ring, or the snow to snow, or waiting for a yes or no, or waiting for their hair to grow. Everyone is just waiting. Did you know that Advent is a season of waiting? For 4 whole weeks, Jesus' followers around the world choose to wait. We know that Christmas is coming, but we choose to wait in order to remember God's story. Speaking of God's story, do you remember how the Bible starts? In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. There was a beautiful garden with 2 people and lots of animals, and they all hung out with God and enjoyed life together. But the goodness of the garden became ruined, and when this happened, God made a promise. It's a great promise. Listen to this. God promised to rescue all of creation. He repeated this promise over and over again to Abraham and to Noah, to Moses, to King David, and to the prophets, like Isaiah, to just name a few people. God reminded of his promise. But they had to wait. And wait. And eventually, after thousands of years of waiting, the waiting was finally coming to an end. Before I tell you about it, I first want to tell you a story my dad told me when I was little. It goes like this. There once was a little kid who walked outside wearing his baseball cap, carrying a ball and a bat. "I'm the greatest hitter in the world," he said. Then he tossed the ball into the air, swung at it, and missed. "Strike one," he yelled. He picked up the ball and said again, "I'm the greatest hitter in the world." And again, he tossed the ball into the air and he swung at it and missed. "Strike two," he cried. The boy looked at his bat and at his ball. He straightened his cap and he said it again. "I'm the greatest hitter in the world." A third time, he tossed the ball up to the air and he swung at it and he missed. Strike three. Little boy picked up the ball, he looked at it, and then he cried out in a loud voice, "I'm mistaken. I'm the greatest pitcher in the world." I imagine all of us at some time have dreamed about being the greatest at something. I would love to be the greatest gymnast, doing back handsprings and round-offs and other tricks like that. Take 10 seconds and tell someone in the room what you would want to be the greatest at. Well, guess what? Today is opposite day, and I want to tell you about someone who did not want to be the greatest. In fact, he wanted to make sure that everyone knew that he was not the greatest. This man's name was John. John was a very interesting guy. People would travel for miles to see John and hear him speak. He was so popular that many people began to think that he just might be the Messiah, the promised rescuer. Others wondered if he was one of those great prophets who had come back to life. John assured people that he was not the Messiah. He was not even one of those great prophets. He told them that he was simply a man who had come to tell others about someone who was truly the greatest. Listen to John's words. John said, "The one who is coming, why, I'm not even worthy to unbuckle his sandals." Of course, the person John was talking about was Jesus. Whether or not we ever become the greatest at anything, we can remind ourselves of John's message. The waiting was coming to an end. John was announcing to anyone and everyone who would listen that God's promise would soon be fulfilled. God was coming to rescue all of creation. The Messiah was really coming. As we wait for Christmas to arrive, we, like John, can tell others about Jesus too. After all, Jesus is the greatest, and we want everyone to know how great Jesus is. To wrap up our time, I have a song for you. As you watch and sing along, think about what great news Jesus is.
Our eyes have seen your glory and all that you have done, and we believe the story that you are God's own Son. You stepped down from the heavens into this world you made, a sacrifice for sinners. There is no higher name above all names. Your name is life. Your name is power. You are our hope in every hour. Your name is light. You break the darkness, and we will tell the world that your name is Jesus. And we will tell the world your name is Jesus. Your name is Jesus. New life for all creation, the reason that we sing, the hope for every nation. You are the reigning King above all kings.